No money down deals. Do they exist? And if they do, where do you find them? Something that I've asked myself fairly often. I think the big thing in M&A is that you can buy businesses for no money. So I suppose cutting to it, do these deals exist? And the answer, or at least in my experience, is yes, they do. But they almost always come with, let's call them things to consider. So let me give you an example, a real life example of something that I've been looking at recently, and it's actually from a place that I used to work. So those of you that won't know, I actually come from a fitness background. So I used to work at this gym facility. Wasn't very good at the personal training, so I got into marketing, and then the marketing stuff then led me on to kind of what I'm doing now, which is buying businesses. And kind of luck has it that the owner of the gym messaged me a few weeks ago saying the current general manager is leaving the business. Do I know of anyone that can take over? To which I replied, I don't know of anyone. I do. But I said I don't know anyone. But I'm happy to buy it off you if that's worth a conversation. So he actually said maybe worth a chat. So I've got all the information that I needed. It's only small. It's only a small deal. So it does about 40-ish £1,000 a year. But when I worked there, I know because I was there, it was doing more around about 70 or 80 £1,000 a year. So I mean, even still, it's still a small deal from an M&A perspective, anyway. But I know that there's some legs in this business. So I was kind of getting into the details a little bit more, and it worked out that this business was making around about £10,000 a year, roughly. But it wasn't being charged rent or a lease or anything like that. So I asked about that, and it turns out that the owner of the gym also owns the building. I didn't know that previously. So he actually owns the building, and he doesn't charge himself rent. So the general offer that I put to them was, well, you currently make £10,000 a year from this gym. What if you were to make £15,000 a year from the gym? You can still keep the building, of course. The gym will pay you rent, and I'll take on the lease for the gym. So it's still fairly fresh. He's on holiday at the minute, but I'm 99% sure that we'll end up doing that deal. So if we do it, it's cost me basically no money to do. It's a business that I already know that I can add value to because I have already done it. But that's the big thing with no money down deals. You have to be really sure that you're going to be able to make it work, because usually if it's no money, like I say, there's a reason. There's something amiss. In this circumstance, this kind of works out for the seller because he's actually making more money than what he currently is, and it's a lot less stress for him as well because the gym that he owns, he's also got some other stuff going on as well. So the gym was just a side project for him, so he's really not interested in it. And from my perspective, the gym on its own, anyway, would also be, I don't want to call it a side project, but it isn't a huge deal. It's not going to change anyone's life in any way. But what you can do in this situation, and again, we've already got some things in motion, is once we make this acquisition, it's only a small little boutique facility. It's more like a village wellness centre than an actual gym. Nobody's in there throwing weights around. It's not like one of the commercial gyms. It's really, really small. It's got around about 100 members, but I know it can do around about 200 members. So I think there's a gap in the market to then acquire other businesses of a similar nature. So the smaller companies that maybe have, one member of staff, which is usually the owner, you could buy the business, maybe even do a very similar thing where you just take over the lease, maybe even give them a little bit of a cut of the pie, and then you can kind of begin to build out that portfolio that way into the fitness space, or at least that's what our plan is anyway. But then using my expertise, which is marketing and sales, I know, because like I say, I've already done it. I know that each one of these gyms, even if I can get an extra 50 members per gym, then if you get 10 of those little gym facilities, it can easily be a 200, 300, 400 grand a year business, very, very quickly, and for very, very little money. So there's loads of these deals that are out there. There's 1,000,001 different ways you can structure a deal. This is just one, and this is just something that just so happens to have worked out. I've looked at, I've maybe had like 200 conversations with people about selling the business in the past month, and this one is probably the only one that I would advise pursuing. So I hope that makes sense to people, that these no money down deals, they do exist, but you do have to be extremely, extremely cautious with them. Usually if they're trying to sell a business for no money, there is a reason. So look into it, use your brain, but listen, those deals are out there. You've just got to wake up every morning, you've just got to put your Vaseline on your lips, you just got to pucker up, and you've just got to go start kissing frogs. You just got to get out there, kiss as many frogs as you can, and then one day you'll find your Prince Charming. Hope you found this useful. I'd love to kind of understand what you guys would like to kind of understand more of as well. Like I say, all of these videos are totally unscripted, and I would absolutely love to get your feedback on some things that you would probably find valuable for me to talk about.